Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay, I want to say call Ali Ma, Yahweh Yahushai. Okay, which is to say our praises to the Most High in the name of His Son. Okay, it's the video, man. Okay, I'm driving home, so why not? All right, and I wanted to go into a topic that's been in my mind. About bewaring of, or being aware, be aware, right? Be aware of sciences, falsely so called, like it tells you in 1 Timothy, the 6th chapter, okay? Because, as things progress and we're starting to see a lot more digitization of everything, right? We're starting to see asset classes in Wall Street, right? And pretty much the global elite, okay, push towards the mark of the beast system. We're going to see a lot more false sciences emerge. We're going to see a lot more false information that's going to get publicly pushed out to the masses, okay? And we have to be very sharp and very, discerning to be able to put these false sciences in their place, because the elect ultimately are not going to get deceived, But regardless, it's still going to be a hell of a fight. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a fight because these heathen are, concocting, brewing, imagining, just all sorts of wickedness, man, and, manufacturing ways to deceive the people, So, I mean, it's still going to be a hell of a fight, man. I mean, David beat Goliath. Make no mistake, he beat him. But hey, the Lord's got to be with you, right? And you still got to have a warrior spirit on you, man. Okay. And the way we're pretty much showing our battle worthiness is pretty much by putting these false sciences in their place. That's the least that we can do, is be aware of pretty much being aware of these false sciences and cutting them and putting them in their place, right? Okay. Because the scriptures also say that they're going to be working miracles with that mark of the beast, right? So it's going to be a lot of false sciences left and right that are going to be the narratives as to why people are getting the microchip and as to why some people are even going to get totally sifted out of the faith of and love of Yahweh Yahushai, man. Okay, and they're totally going to fold and crack to these things that are coming to the world. Okay, the hour of temptation is totally going to get a lot of these dudes. Okay, it's going to corner them so badly they don't even realize it. Okay, which is near. Okay, I don't know when. I can't tell you exactly when, but I just know that the microchip is near, and the hour of temptation, which is a period of time where the government is going to enforce the microchip on the people, right, pursuing to the book of Revelation, right? We know that microchip is going to play a key role in the New World Order for these devils, okay? But in reality, it's prophecy being fulfilled, and the Lord's about to put these heathen in their place, okay? So, going back to what I was saying, man, we have to be aware of these false sciences, right? And sometimes certain things are going to be given to, certain portions, right, are going to be given to different prophets of the Lord, Okay, that's why you read in the scriptures. I mean, different prophets had different portions, you know. So wherever your place falls in with your little portion, with your talent, you know, slice and dice with the scriptures, with the scriptures, right? The two-edged sword of the Bible, pretty much. Okay, you know, slice and dice these hedonistic beliefs, okay, and these sciences, falsely so called. Okay, right? You know, be ready to debunk any false miracles that these heathen push on our people via the microchip, right? Be ready to slice and dice their you know, I mean, pretty much heresies, but you know, their deception, okay, their deception of the microchip, you know, and any other false sciences that come about to be, okay, exactly, you know, and then when you watch these animal documentaries, I mean, even then you got to filter out the meat from the bones, because you know, even then these heathens sometimes they you know, you wonder how they even come to those conclusions. It's questionable, you know. It's just, you know, I'll give you an example, man. I don't know how true this is. I don't know if Esau could really do this or not, but you know, supposedly the certain this is just, you know, an example. I'm not saying this is false or you know, or true, right? Because in reality, I don't want to say I don't know, but you know, we'll the elect will find out in due time. But it's really not that important. But I'm giving you an example, right? Some of these things, some of these sciences that these heathen claim to have, is just not. It's questionable, man. Okay, and for sure, Esau's never gone to Mars or these other galaxies. That's what I'm talking about, man. Okay, these devils can't even pass the Van Allen belt. These Edomites can't pass the Van Allen belt, and then on top of that, it tells you in the book of Job that the Most High has put bounds on these Edomites and their empire, and their expansion of their empire has put bounds that even he cannot pass. So that's clear, bro. That's referring to them not going out into outer space. It would be extremely logical that they don't have the technology or the know-how to be able to go and actually surpass the Van Allen belt and actually go to you know, so-called Mars, right? And these other so-called well, these other planets, not so-called, right? These other planets, okay? So I mean, they don't. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. But another thing, man, is, you know, questionable at best, right? Is supposedly deer. You know, the reason that tigers are orange are because deer, you know, and certain venison, certain animals that they hunt, certain creatures that they hunt, you know, I've seen this in the documentary. Supposedly the reason tigers are orange is because it helps them camouflage, you know. I mean, it could be true, could not, right? I mean, I don't know. The Most High's creatures are very beautiful and they go deep, you know. Ecosystems go very, very deep. Okay, so take certain things with a grain of salt, all right, player. That's my point, man. Okay, but indeed, ecosystems are very deep, and why the Lord chose certain colors and certain animals, hey, that's deep, you know. That goes very deep in of itself. Okay. It's the Most High's creations, and indeed His science, the Almighty science, His knowledge, because the word science just means knowledge. His knowledge is extremely vast, extremely deep, and okay, very glorious and beautiful. Okay, but you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and supposedly that the deer, that, you know, I was watching that documentary, and the deer cannot see because they're colorblind. And that's questionable at best, player. Are deer really colorblind? Are they not? How does Esau know what the deer sees, what the deer doesn't? It's just, it makes you wonder, man. So right, and it goes deep, man. Okay, and we know Esau Edom is not really deep. These devils are not. They're deep in wickedness. They're deep in the way they're organized, but they're not deep in the sense of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, right? Of the Holy Spirit. They don't know the mysteries of the universe like that. It's not given to them. That's more the Israelites, okay? The priesthood of the Israelites, Yasharallah, okay? We know the mysteries of the kingdom and the universe and everything, right? We are the children of light, as it is written. But that's what I'm talking about, though. You see what I'm saying? So just take certain of these documentaries, take certain things here and there that Esau is sciences with concerning the ecosystems and the animal kingdom. Take it with a grain of salt, okay? The sciences of the different trades, like welding or machining, or automotive technician, and how cars work, and all this electricity, right? Electrician work. Take it with a grain of salt, player. Okay, just certain Esau's theories are to be taken with a grain of salt sometimes. Okay, right? Certain, I mean, the scripture says we're going to go to our enemies in want of all things, right? So we have to, sometimes you have to learn the trades from a fucking Edomite. It is what it is, okay? You want to be a carpenter? Well, guess what? you gotta start somewhere. You want to be an electrician? Guess what? Chances are you're going to learn from a fucking cracker. I'm dead serious, okay? We're going to go to our enemies in want of all things, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28th chapter. So, okay, but and then it tells you in Matthew, what is that, chapter 16, verse 6, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Matthew 16th chapter, where it talks about Yahushua clearly mentioned to the disciples, beware the leaven of the Pharisees, right? Referring to the teachings. So we gotta strive to keep those teachings pure, and we can do that by being aware of all these false sciences, man. Okay, obviously the flat earth is that whole false doctrine of the flat earth is not true. Okay, that was another false science that emerged, and a lot of dudes fell for that, and a lot of dudes were looking into that shit, man. I remember that shit back in the day. Okay, and that was all nonsense. There was actual dudes that you thought were solid, man. Dudes that you thought were solid were getting swayed by some of them false damnable heresies, man. Okay, and that was easy, man. I knew from day one. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit, But it was certain time. It was the time for certain dudes to be sifted out, and that's exactly what ended up happening. They ended up bugging out and falling out. So, but that's another example, right? Okay, so just be aware of these false sciences, because as the microchip emerges, right now it's not exactly here yet, but the system is being put into play. That's why they're digitizing all asset classes, Wall Street, okay, and these Edomites are pretty much putting a blockchain tech into traditional finance, right? And all that's going to lead to is a microchip. Okay, so that's what's happening, in the bigger scheme of things. And And soon they're going to start emerging with miracles, like the scriptures tell you, because it's prophecy that miracles were going to emerge, okay, from this microchip, you know, and it's going to deceive a lot of people, man. A lot of people are going to fall for the deceitful, right, cleverly devised fables that they're going to push with that microchip, okay. Those false sciences, really it's witchcrafts, okay. It's fucking sorceries, high level sorcery, okay, because to be able to cure someone that was blind, formerly blind, and let them see with microchip tech, I mean, that's some next level shit, dude. That's some serious witchcrafts, you know, because right, I mean, that's not what the human body was not designed. The Almighty did not create our bodies to put computer tech and have AI flowing through our veins. Like, what kind of shit is that, man? Okay. What's it? But these devils, man, they're gonna really deceive a lot of people with the false sciences, I'm telling you. So be aware of the false sciences, okay? Be sharp and be ready in a moment's notice, okay, to put these false scientists in their place, okay? Because the Lord has given us authority to put these so-called professionals in their place, man. And so what? If you get offended, fuck you, okay? Yeah, babe just put you in your place, player. You know, get offended, okay? A nobody, right? He's a nobody. Okay, well, hey, a nobody just put you in your place. And what? How about them apples, punk bitch? All right? Got some bitch niggas out there, man, you know? But, ego tripping fools, okay? But yeah, you know, a babe just put you in your place. So let that sink in. So, I mean, anyways, with that, man, I'm going to say, call Alim La Yahweh Yahushua. Be aware of them false sciences. Shalom.